They're above the law. They make the law. They are the law. What's up, everybody? I am the Skeptical Realist. Leaked ATF documents reveal the Biden regime's scheme to close gun stores across the country. The Biden regime has opened a new front in their war on law-abiding gun owners. Leaked ATF documents reveal the regime plans to shut down gun stores across America by pursuing a zero-tolerance policy revoking federal firearms licenses, or also known as FFLs. Gun Owners of America obtained these documents earlier this month. What the? Earlier this month, which showed. Okay, so I'm combining two words. That's nice. Which show the ATF updated its federal firearms license inspection guidance in January of 22. So they updated it in 22. So they've been doing this for a year already. Okay, let's see what they've been doing. The Biden regime previously announced in July of 21 that they would be updating the guidelines established under the Trump administration. So yes, they've been doing whatever it is for a year already. Okay, have we heard anything about it, or has anybody complained, or anything like crazy happened where they've been closing so many gun stores that it couldn't be ignored by people? Any articles written about it? Any of that stuff? I haven't heard anything about it. Have you? The new guidelines state the ATF must establish willfulness to proceed with canceling licenses, but the agency does not have to establish a history of prior violations to determine willfulness. Furthermore, revocation of the FFL's license is the assumed action with violations. So instead of getting a warning or something like that, the revocation of your FFL license is the action or the punishment for any violations, which they can enact immediately. Once FFLs are revoked, these records are added to the ATF's digital gun registry, which has nearly 1 billion gun and gun owner records. The new guidance greatly expands the regime's ability to criminalize law-abiding Americans and enact a backdoor national firearms ban. So they're creating a registry through this method. All right, click below to read the full document, and we are not going to read the full document, at least not right now. We can take the time individually to do that if you want to. None of this should come as a shock to Americans. The Gateway Pundit last month reported on how the ATF banned millions of guns by reclassifying pistol braces. Violators can receive up to 10 years for non-compliance. That's BS. Internal documents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives show the zero-tolerance guidelines the agency is using to shut down gun stores. The guidance says the agency has zero tolerance for willful violations that greatly affect public safety and ATF's ability to trace firearms recovered in violent crimes, and that revocation of the FFL's license is the assumed action with violations. Did they not have zero tolerance before for willful violations? Therefore, revocation is the assumed action, unless extraordinary circumstances exist when violations are cited that include transferring a firearm to a prohibited person knowing or having reasonable cause to believe the transferee is a prohibited person, failing to perform a background check and making a false or fictitious written statement in the FFL, required records, or in applying for a firearms license, the guidance reads. The new guidelines say the ATF must establish willfulness to proceed with canceling licenses, but the agency does not have to establish a history of the prior violations to determine willfulness. Okay, been over that. Accordingly, ATF will revoke a federal firearms license, or FFL. Can you please shorten that? It's already shortened, so just say FFL. Thank you. Absent extraordinary circumstances on initial violations, if those violations inherently demonstrate willfulness, okay, such as transferring a firearm to a prohibited person, failing to run a background check prior to transferring a firearm to a non-licensee, falsifying records or making false statements, failing to respond to an ATF tracing request, refusing to permit ATF to conduct an inspection, or allowing a straw sale of a firearm to occur. Okay, so basically the same stuff, except for they just give us a little bit more information. Aiden Johnston, GOA's Director of Federal Affairs. GOA, you mean Gun Owners of America? So you write out Federal Firearms License, but you don't write out Gun Owners of America? We're supposed to know what that means? But you can't write FFL up here? Come on. Told Fox News Digital that Joe Biden has weaponized the ATF against gun owners and the firearms industry in an attempt to violate the Second Amendment and expand his illegal gun registry. Like you said earlier, we are not surprised by this. We're just not ahead of it. Why are we not ahead of the game? We are always behind. We are always just reacting. We're reacting. We need to be ahead of the game. We need to fortify the Second Amendment, not just react to them destroying it. Rather than targeting those who display clear negligence and disregard for the law, ATF now revokes licenses without warning at the discovery of a first mistake by honest gun dealers, Johnston said. Yeah, I guess if they've proven willfulness, that they did this mistake willfully. If they did it willfully, then should their FFL not be revoked? When federal firearms licensees are forced out of business, ATF adds their records to its digital gun registry that has nearly 1 billion gun and gun owner records, he continued. GOA is already working with Second Amendment champions like Rep. Michael Cloud on Capitol Hill to address this alarming issue and eliminate this unconstitutional gun registry. GOA previously blasted the ATF for their illegal gun registry in their new report on the finalized rule requiring FFLs to maintain purchase records indefinitely. So they came up with a new rule, not a law, but a rule, that says that FFLs have to maintain records indefinitely. I don't know what the previous rule was. I'm sure it was a number of years. The group's report on Freedom of Information Act requested documents revealed the ATF is maintaining a digital, searchable, centralized registry of guns and gun owners in violation of various federal prohibitions. GOA wrote in their report that the ATF has reached a point where it has converted nearly 1 billion records required to be kept by FFLs into a single, centralized, and searchable national gun registry. Great. That is routinely searched by multiple data fields, except reportedly by gun owner's name. Who reported that? If they have the name, you know they're searching by name in certain circumstances, even if they say they're not. Because they don't follow the law. They're above the law. They make the law. They are the law. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Before you go, maybe head over and check out the merch store. Yeah, click the link below. I've got 2 subscribers, and I've got a merch store. Who knew?